Aini from student of prosthetic orthotic in Polytechnic Jakarta 1. So, this video I will show you how to determine the mechanical knee axis in KEVO and HKEVO. Before we take casting patient, we should determine where is the position of the knee axis. And there have two ways for the find the knee axis. The first we can see from the sagittal, which is have include patella and exclude patella, and also there have from coronal plane is we can find with H for knee joint for MTP, and there have special consideration when using the polycentric knee joint. Okay, I have some slide for explain about the mechanical knee joint placement. So, how we determine the mechanical of the knee joint axis in the KEVO and HKEVO? So, for the first, I will explain from the sagittal plane. In sagittal, we have two types for determine the knee axis. The first is the include patella and exclude patella. The first is determined from the sagittal plane. In exclude patella, we should find the diameter AP on the knee and then make it 50-50 or 1/2 without the patella, so we can find the mechanical of the knee axis. And for the include patella, we can determine the diameter of the knee and make it 90-40 or 1/3 include the patella, so we can find the mechanical of the knee axis. And we make 90 on the anterior and 40 on the posterior. And for the next, we can see from the coronal there have three ways is the height of the knee joint and from MTP, and also the special consideration if the knee joint is the polycentric. The first is from height of the knee joint. For the marking, we can see on the picture is the medial tibial plateau and adductor tubercle. And how we find it? The first, we make the line from the adductor tubercle and MTP. After that, we divide into two from each of distance until we find the result. So we moving to sagittal and find diameter from midpoint and make 90-40 for the find the mechanical of the knee joint. And for the next is the from MTP. For the marking is the medial tibial plateau, and how we find it is by the find the MTP and then move about centimeters. And next, how we determine if the type of the knee joint is polycentric. And for the step is using the reference from the medial, which is the bisect distance between of the MTP and adductor tubercle of the femur. And for the lateral is the same H above the lateral tibia plateau, so we can find the position of the mechanical of the knee joint, which is marked with the blue line. After you find the position of the mechanical knee joint, and make sure you have try palpate the mechanical knee joint is that closure with the apex of the knee joint. If there have slightly movement when the knee is flexed, that's okay, but if the problem when the moving of the mechanical knee joint and axis is the bigger, so we should determine again which the correct one for the position of the mechanical knee joint. For the next is the what if condition when the position of the mechanical knee axis might more the posterior, anterior, inferior, and how it works when it fit on the knee joint axis. As you can see in the picture, that's the correct of the placement mechanical knee joint. As you can see on the video, there have smooth clearance when the flex, and also there's no half pressure and gap on the proximal and distal part. If patients have this condition, they will be loved for using the orthosis and not abandon the device. And next, what if when the mechanical of the knee joint is too posterior? As we can see on the video and the photos that I've already attached, there is clear half pressure on the posterior proximal calf and also posterior distal thigh, and there will have gap on the anterior proximal calf and anterior distal thigh. When patient have this condition, they will be feels uncomfortable when using the device, and also maybe it will create pain when patient using the device. Okay, for the next what if condition, when the placement of the mechanical knee joint to anterior, in the picture we can see when the knee begin flex, they will have create some pressure on the anterior proximal calf and also anterior distal thigh, and it will have gap on the posterior proximal calf and posterior distal thigh. So for the next is the what if condition, when the placement mechanical knee joint is to inferior. So as we can see on the video and picture, when the knee begin flex, they will have pressure on the anterior proximal calf and also posterior distal thigh, and it will create gap on the posterior proximal calf and anterior distal thigh. If we have some misplacement of the mechanical knee joint, in my opinion, we can modify on the rectification process, or maybe before we filling the negative cast, we make sure the alignment of the negative cast using the jig alignment, so we can see that already parallel or not of the knee axis and also for the ankle axis. And this is a ratio goniometer from Ottobock. So this function is for easier your life in finding the mechanical of the knee joint, and the type is like scissor, and they have apparatus that can fit over the patient knee. As we can see, they have like a long pointer. It's represent for line of progression of the patient knee. To use these tools is to put the device on the patient knee and shrink it down through the action of the scissoring goniometer, and make sure it's fit to the patient knee. And the tools will be set always at 60-40, and it has hollow rivet as your point for knee joint axis. And before that, make sure the bubble level already same, and then you can mark. Prior to this, you've already set for the foot progression angle, and also it will related to the line of progression of the knee. And basically this tools is the really easier your life, but I didn't see it yet because there's not available on our campus and the cost is pricey. And now you guys understand how to determine the knee axis, right? So maybe enough from my video. Hopefully it help you guys for the determine the mechanical of the knee joint, and see you on the next video.